probably do this event for free every time. We're actually going to be talking about an event that we're doing next month that is going to be for free. So hopefully everybody can make it out as long as the weather is not this bad. So it's crazy because it looks nice now, but earlier was just crazy driving here. But Robbie's coming over here. So you want to say something, Robbie, from there, or you want to come up here? So what do you do? Go ahead. Thank you. So talk to him about that. And then this is pretty much the setup today. We mingle. You guys did that earlier. We'll make the announcements of what you're doing now. We have the keynote speaker that will bring up Ed, and then we'll do a little bit more mix and mingle. But we're also going to have some pitches in between that. So I think we have 2 companies that will be pitching tonight. We have to get out of here by 9. So please pick up after yourself. Turn off your cell phones so you won't interrupt anybody, please. If you have to go to the bathroom, it's to the left outside for the men. Ladies are to the right. And if you park downstairs, there's a voucher that you can get from the front desk that they can basically give you so you can pay, I think it's $7 if you park downstairs. Otherwise, I guess you can park somewhere else outside, and it could have been free after 6 o'clock, I think, in downtown on Mondays. This is our sponsors, Capital Factory. They provide the space. They've been doing that for years for us. We started in Microsoft. We then went to HomeAway, and now we're here at Capital Factory. They treat us well, giving us the space, because otherwise we'll have to pay for a location as well. Your Way is actually a nonprofit that my wife runs. We're actually running a promotion for her on the spec that we need some sponsors for her. And since she's a nonprofit, whatever donation you do, it will go towards, not paying taxes. I think she has something that if you pay $350, you get your name on the girls, because it's a volleyball team, on the girls' T-shirts, training shirts. So, and also the next event next month, we are going to have a booth or tables that we're going to set up for companies and startups so they can go ahead and pitch. And we're going to charge $100, and that money is going to go towards that as well, so you can get a write-off if you need that. Talk to me after if you're interested. Texas Capital Real Estate is actually one of the companies. TCRE is my company. I invest in real estate, buy properties, flip them, fix them. Don't ask me what I invest, because I invest in anything that makes money. So from cars to land to houses, no horses, no animals. I don't invest in that. That's pretty much it. This is how we started with the tech map. It was just a map itself with a bunch of startups and location where they were located, co-working spaces, angel investors where you can find them, and also events. So we started mapping this out, but we noticed that there was something missing. Startups either die or change names. So from there, we started creating profiles. So unless you die or something happens to you, you won't have a profile. So that's why we did that. Well, as you can see the dots on it, you have yellow, red, and blue. I'm sure you guys read what those things means. Red is for talent, developers. Green is for investors. Yellow for marketing, media, and blue for entrepreneurs. So hopefully you guys can connect and kind of mingle who you're looking for. Most likely everybody's looking for the green dot here. And here is pretty much how we created the tech map to be kind of like Meetup, because we don't know what's going to happen to them. This is the groups. So we actually have an API that we imported all the Meetup stuff into our platform. So other organizers can run the platform. And we don't charge. So anyways, if you've got a group and your organizer, come talk to me and we can talk about it more. This is the jobs. This is something that hopefully gets you guys, whoever looking for a job or connect with people that are hiring. You can go ahead and check the post. This is for free for any company that wants to post as well. Tickets. This is the tickets section where if you sign up for events, you can see what events you sign up for in the ticket itself. And I heard a lot of feedback that we have a couple of bugs, and we do. So we do need developers that can actually code this better, because the one we're using in Vietnam are kind of tricky here and there and hard to talk to when the language and time difference is hard. But so we're looking for a CTO or somebody can take over that part for us, because I've been doing that for quite a while, and I'm getting kind of tired dealing with Vietnamese unless you guys talk that language. This is the check-in part. You can show your ticket that you checked in. This is who's attending the event. So if you go to the actual event afterwards and ticket, you can see who's attending. You can, go ahead and connect with them. If they're looking for a job, they'll say hire me, or you can make an appointment. We have a scheduling appointment set up in our platform where you get an email notification where somebody wants to schedule with you and meet up with you. That's why we actually create our data and the users. This is the calendar where you set up the appointment with. And this is how your profile looks. So we're not trying to recreate Meetup or LinkedIn. This is why we have the account created by LinkedIn. So we can just grab some of the information on your snapshot of what you're actually doing now, what you're looking for. So we're more focused on the present and what you're looking for in the future. I know most people think, oh, this is like LinkedIn. Well, no, because LinkedIn is more like a resume. This is like what you are now, okay? And this is what we put the event together, because you can connect with people now, not tomorrow, or with somebody that maybe gonna spam you, but at the event is who's gonna hire you, or who's gonna connect you to the next company or the investor that you're looking for. And we have the messenger. This is beta, which is still kind of quanky, but we're working on it. So that's pretty much the platform. This is the format: 30 minutes keynote speaker, 5 minutes Q&A, and then we have the pitches. We have 2 tonight, so it's 5 minutes pitches, 4 minutes Q&A, and then after that we will cut you off. We have to get out of here by 9, so hopefully we'll be networking after those things happen. And upcoming event, that's the one I was talking about, as a holiday showcase. So we will have this booth or this table set up for people that want to participate. It's $100. If you pay that $350 for the nonprofit, we'll include the $100, and you get a T-shirt for the girls. And again, this is going to the nonprofit, just like this company. And the keynote speaker today is Ed. If you want to come up to the front and say a couple of things about yourself. Pretty much Ed is been working for a couple of startups, and he successfully has sold his company now to ARM. Welcome, guys. Let me go ahead and put it up.
So in case you're wondering, I just looked at the phone. 6 a.m. It's supposed to freeze now. It keeps getting warmer. So if you're stressed out, you probably don't have to worry about it. You know how it is in Austin. It looks like it's going to be terrible, and it usually isn't. So, so first of all, I'm not familiar with all the dot colors. So how many people are actually trying to start a company here? Okay, so good majority. And then just for fun, how many people are actually seriously investors? Only raise your hand if you really are an investor. Okay. That's usually the way it is. It's usually the ratio, if you probably are familiar in these kind of events. So raising money is tough, and I'll talk a lot about that. So let me give you like a little bit of brief rundown on the kind of startup we were. And since it's a relatively small group, why don't you just butt in with questions? It would be more fun that way. If there's something that you have, you personally are having a problem with, and what you're trying to do in your business, just raise your hand and just ask, so that we can make it more interactive. So Wigwag was a startup that lasted for about 6 years. We pivoted in the middle of it. We probably went through every tough spot a startup can go through generally, okay? We raised money a number of different ways. We were a multinational. Don't recommend you do that. We had an India office and a Chinese office and 2 wholly owned foreign enterprises. We made hardware and we made software. We employed all kinds of different kinds of people to do that. These are all things I would not recommend doing, but they were a heck of a lot of fun, okay? So yeah, we had 2 locations. There was one in Agra, which later, that's actually where the Taj Mahal is, in case you don't know. And that was later moved to Noida, India. And we actually had an office in Wuxi, China, which is near Shanghai. And that's where we did our hardware manufacturing. What did we do? If you don't know, which I'm sure none of you do, we basically made a smart gateway, okay? And can you guys all hear me? Okay. This is annoying. If you don't mind.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. It's up to you.
Can you all hear me? Yes?
present to you guys. So about me, my name is Arun Raj, and my company is called Fine Technologies, and we are based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I just happened to be here this weekend to meet my brother-in-law, and he said there's a good opportunity here to meet new people. So I thought I would come in and present our ideas and current product that we have. So, so basically about our company, we started in 2016, and we were building wearable cellular connected devices. So we started as a tracker, and then in early 2017, we pivoted as a wearable communication device that can do voice messaging and also GPS tracking and also like step counting and things like that. So right now, our current product is a wearable communication device specifically targeted for kids. So there are a few other that are already in the market that we are competing against, like Timex Family Connect or Verizon. Verizon has a product like that. Ours is a little more feature rich, and it can do like other stuff as well. I will go through the slides to actually show you what we can do. So basically, our current product, we are basically trying to track a problem where you actually doesn't have a cost-effective communication device for little kids. Say, for example, like you can give kids cell phone, but most parents doesn't want kids to use cell phones when they are like at least like 12 or 13 years, because personally my colleague had issues where like he came to know that his daughter's class, they were like illicit content that's getting passed around in the phone. So he stopped giving the phone to his kid, and then what happened was the Parkland school shooting happened. And his daughter happened to be in the same class, same school, and for next 4 to 5 hours, he couldn't get any info on where they were, or like no way to communicate, or what's the whereabouts, or are they injured or anything like that. So it was a serious issue at that time. So we introduced a tracker at the CES 2017, and we were trying to come up with a marketing strategy, and then we found out like there's too much money involved in actually like getting people to know the value of a cellular connected tracker. So for example, the cellular connected tracker is accessible all the time, and it has like an LTE technology will give you like longer battery life, but people would be comparing against like a Bluetooth powered tile or anything like that, which costs much less compared to a cellular connected device. So then that's another reason. Yeah, that's another reason we actually like pivoted to. That's another reason that we want to pivot to a communication device that addresses a new market, like a kids communication. So here, the immediate communication is very necessary, and like a smartphone use, and there's no cost-effective way currently to communicate with the kids. So our solution was basically a platform. We involved a hardware device that can do the audio playback and audio recording, and also the GPS, and also the Bluetooth connectivity. And this one could connect to messages, and there's no screens involved, and it would save money. Like for example, if you want to add a extra plan for a cell phone or anything like that, it will be at least like $10, $12, and we could do it much cost-effective way. So this is some market validation we had at the moment. These were taken from like regular census data. So there were like kids who we could sell this to the parents of these kids, like less than 11 years old, so people who have a cell phone, and people who like kids whose parents are usually worried about like illicit content. And this is also from census data, like 11 and under 15 million people, like people from like 5 to 11 years old. That's our market, and we could get like at least a little chunk of that market with our device and the platform. And this is our current product. It's basically a wearable device. It has a button and a subsurface LEDs to know the status and stuff like that, and also a speaker and the microphone. So basically sending messages, it will be as easy as just click the button. The first click will start recording. And if you want to stop, conclude the message, you can click again. Or for small kids, it will just keep recording, and probably like with a set timeout, it will just stop the recording and send the message out to parents. So parents will have like a mobile apps where they receive messages and they can respond back. So This is the mobile app screens. Um, Again, same thing, and additional features. This is where it's getting interested from the competition. So we have like voice control. So there's no screen, nothing. It could be made completely watertight or water resistant, whatever. But we can do like press and hold the message, and you can hold the button, and you can do like commands to control the device, set volumes, go to silent, or like if you want to do like assistants, Google Assistant, Alexa is currently supported. We can do that. If you want to start any of those. Today's kids do use those things a lot. Like even for regular homework, you can do Google and Alexa, and like general knowledge questions and things like that. And then the location and tracking. You can actually in the mobile app, you have like a map where you want to, if you want to track your kid where he is actually in right now, and things like that. And the business model is basically we have a subscription fee of $5 a month, and a device we are planning to sell it for like $119. And market adoption, we from our previous like investors, we have some connections with like a low, not so scalable, but good marketing channels, and also we plan to go to Amazon and or regular channels to actually sell. Competition, these are like Find is good in like small and lightweight. Find all like our wearable device only weighs at like 18 grams, so even small kids, it's not a problem to actually wear it and have it on the wrist all day. So if you don't want on the wrist, you can actually put it as a carabiner on the bike or anything anywhere else. So this Verizon has a Gizmo watch. There's another called DocuPal, RelayGo. The RelayGo is already selling in Stargaze, but it's like a large device. You have to have 2 devices in a pair and things like that. There's a recent device that's launched by T-Mobile. It also is like, it has a screen, but it cannot be used by a 5-year-old. You have to have like a generous amount of training for kids to use that. And it's small, lightweight, ease of use, voice control, modularity, and peace of mind. Like modularity, it can be used in multiple ways. And this is my team. I handle the Linux and the firmware and architecture to connection, architecture details for connecting to cell phone networks, push notifications to the device that says same message and things like that. And Melvin, he's well versed in manufacturing and stuff like that, so he set up all the product logistics, parts, and manufacturing in China. We have help in Shenzhen, China, to actually do the manufacturing, and we do have molds and such to actually do everything. And Tom, he's like he's really experienced in engineering design, and like he's been part of like earlier products that hit the market. And our milestones, we started in 27. First prototype was started in 2017 that we showed on CES with Qualcomm, and then we manufactured products and then apps completely working in 2018. If probably you don't know, like in CES 2017, all the Qualcomm buses used our tracker technology to actually track buses and the status where they are. But later on, we pivoted to kids and seniors too with this new device. And then we completely integrated voice assistants. We had help from Amazon and Alexa, Amazon and Google to do that. And also we put a completely built-in voice UI, because Amazon or Alexa using for voice UI was a little delay in the actual user interface. So we did that one, and we recently did a small consumer trial with these 80 devices and with friends and family, and we got a really good response on that one. So we are right now basically looking for like funding to actually get to market. So we want to build some devices and actually start selling. And we need some development help on basically like on the server side and the mobile app side. So we like to raise like 3 million, and basically we plan to have like, if we get that far, we could actually keep some of the money as buffer for like future development and stuff too. So I want to show is like a few videos. Basically, can you help me out with this? Few videos with how Find is being used by kids and how intuitive it is to use.
Questions now, since I'm gonna play this video. You kind of have a time on that. I'll play the video now.
This is basically my colleague's daughter and my daughter communicating over Find. So that's basically device-to-device messaging. So my colleague's son is using Google Assistant on the device. So you can actually do like a lot of Google Voice applications on that as well. So basically like a language translation or anything, you can do that.
He uses Alexa, but we're out of time, so you want to get some questions now?
Yeah, sure.
Any questions in regards to? Go ahead.
It's as fast as getting an SMS. So probably if there's some network delays, it could. So basically, what happens is like on the device, the message goes out. On the receiving end of the device gets a notification. It's basically a push notification, and the device will actually connect to a server and gets the messages. So that's the usual. Sometimes it could be as slow as like 2 seconds. Uh-huh. Right now, our devices, we are using Sprint, but everything is built into the device itself. The SIM, the customer doesn't have to do any of those stuff to manage plans or anything like that. So we plan to go with an MVNO or something. Basically, there you will have the device connected, working on all the networks, and based on location, it will change over.
How much testing have you done in the seniors market, the boomers in their 60s and 70s? I have a feeling your product would have a lot more appeal because of its simplicity to seniors more than children.
We do see like a lot of interest, but we didn't want to focus on all of the markets at once. And again, the same platform can be used in like multiple scenarios, like for example, employee communication or like healthcare or fitness or things like that too. But we just happen to be like focusing on this particular market. It seemed like that's our friends and family, many of them really wanted a device like that, and they've been, during the consumer trial, they all found it really useful. So simple things like my cousin's son was at the, say for example, tennis practice, and the practice, because of the thunderstorm, they had to stop the practice, but he was waiting there to, in a normal use case, he will be waiting there to be picked up like after 30 minutes. But using this device, he can actually message his dad right away, and he could come pick it up. So those are like small little things that these parents really liked. So we thought, we still think like this is a best strategy to actually start initially, but we could then market into different verticals.
Yeah, I'm funny, most of the seniors don't want smartphones. It's too complex. They want simple.
Yeah. One last question.
Yeah.
I could see AARP selling millions of things.
I would completely support what the gentleman was saying. I don't think that you're in the right market because you're trying. You have to deal with the social aspect. Like you're fighting a losing battle. Is what I'm saying. If you go for the kids, you're going to have to convince the parents why this device is important. And then, honestly, me thinking from a parent's perspective, the only reason I would buy it is for the GPS feature. I know where my kid's at. There's some kind of Amber Alert. But at the same time, if your device gets popular, what stops an attacker to ripping that thing off the kid before they take them versus a senior citizen who falls and doesn't have any access to anything? That's the first thing they're going to press because it's on their wrist the whole time. So I think and that market's just growing every single day. So I think that's really the one that you could easily, and he just gave you the roadmap. Easy to go to.
Yeah. We definitely plan to go into that market. I mean, we've been working with some other companies that assist seniors, and they've been interested in that. So instead of like attacking it directly, we go to a company that's already in the market, and they actually sell solution through them. But this one, like even the GPS solution you have on the device, when people actually start messaging kids directly, and they even stopped using the GPS because they found the messaging was even more helpful for them to actually like know the whereabouts and the real-time stuff. So if, what do you call? So if, say for example, if I am going to pick up my kid and the queue on the pickup line is so long, so I just want to walk over and pick him up, or I can just right away let him know that I'm coming, walking this way or whatever, those kind of stuff. So those little things seem to help the parents a lot in the daily life. It costs like, we are trying to sell it for $119. And on a single battery charge, it could go up to like 34, 36 hours, and we are still trying to optimize it.
Okay, we're done with the question, guys. We only got like 8 minutes left to network, and we got to get out of here. So I'll turn some music on. You guys can get together and talk more about it individually. But thanks for coming again, and hopefully you guys can make it next month as well, and talk to the people that pitch over here today if you have more questions in regards to it. Thank you again for coming, guys.